keep in mind, this happened in large part. They didn't tell the fans that Caitlin Clark was going to be out until an hour and 20 minutes before the game. We have been watching the tickets, right? We've been watching, and I've got responses from fans. This is just wild. And I've got the attendance. 3,254 empty seats. It's officially the lowest game of the Caitlin Clark era.
The Indiana Fever assumed fans would keep packing the arena even after pulling Caitlin Clark from the lineup at the last second. Instead, the crowd situation started looking eerily empty, like a basketball arena straight out of a post-apocalyptic movie scene. Ticket prices nosedived, fans turned into internet detectives overnight, and suddenly a shocking question started spreading everywhere. Did the Fever unintentionally spark a boycott against their own franchise while trying to protect the biggest name in women's basketball?
Come with Amber Cox, Kelly Krauskopf, Stephanie White, and the Indiana Fever mobsters. Give me your money right now.
That is what the Indiana Fever are doing to Caitlin Clark fans as they continue to lie, they continue to scam fans for their money when they know she's not going to play. The Indiana Fever made the decision to not let fans know Caitlin Clark would not be playing in today's game versus the Portland Fire until 1 hour before the goddamn.
If you're enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot more than you probably realize. What was expected to be another electrifying night for Caitlin Clark quickly transformed into something that felt more like an empty arena than a major basketball event. Fans arrived anticipating sold-out energy, roaring crowds, and the usual excitement that follows Clark everywhere she plays.
Indiana Fever front office and their nonsense, and it only took up until Game 5 for it all to begin as Caitlin Clark out for tonight's game. Back adjustments. Oh, they're just routine back adjustments. Not a big deal. Oh, it's going to be happening all season. It's not a big deal. It's no problem. It's just a back adjustment.
But instead, they walked into an arena filled with empty sections, while ticket prices were dropping by the minute. Fans sat glued to their phones in disbelief, trying to understand how a single late update had suddenly turned the WNBA's hottest team into the internet's latest meltdown story.
The Indiana Fever beat the Portland Fire tonight, but I don't think that's anything anybody cares about at this point. Caitlin Clark did not play in the game, and at this point, the Indiana Fever have given themselves no reason to be trusted by you. And what feels like deja vu from last year, vague injury reports, half-truths, outright lies, and one hand not knowing what the other is doing.
And the craziest part was that the final score barely mattered. The real drama had already started well before the opening tip. According to reports, fans did not learn that Caitlin Clark would be out until just a little over an hour before game time, and the moment that news dropped, the internet instantly went into full investigation mode.
That was a rough one, and I'm going to be real here. The attendance numbers is a very, very concerning sign. And, like, the Indiana Fever are not that good a basketball team. They're not a bad team. Like, they're a team that's going to win somewhere between 27 and 22 games. Or 20 and 27 games. The Fever had a huge win.
One moment, fans were organizing road trips, grabbing merchandise, taking photos outside the arena, and telling their friends and families that a WNBA game was finally becoming must-see entertainment. Then everything changed instantly. Phones across the country started buzzing with a basketball version of heartbreak. Caitlin Clark was ruled out. Almost overnight, an arena that had become one of the most in-demand events in sports suddenly felt like a concert crowd disappearing after a fire alarm went off. Resale ticket prices reportedly crashed all the way down to single digits. Not just affordable, practically abandoned. We're talking about ticket prices so low you could barely buy a sandwich for the same amount. Some fans even claimed seats were being listed for under $9 and still nobody was buying. At that point, the frustration stopped being only about one player missing a game. It became about trust. People had driven across states, reserved hotels, taken days off from work, and even convinced relatives who normally never watch basketball to join the trip, all because they wanted to see Caitlin Clark play live. Then, right at the last minute, the news dropped like some shocking reality show twist written by comic book villains. Social media blew up almost immediately. Videos filmed inside the arena began spreading everywhere online, revealing long stretches of empty seats throughout the building. Several fans mentioned that the television broadcast did not truly show how vacant the arena looked in person. Camera angles can cover up a lot, and that trick has been used in entertainment for years. But spectators inside the venue started uploading clips from every possible section, and the images were hard to dismiss. Some areas looked only partially filled, while other sections appeared almost completely empty.
This is going to be a long season dealing with Stephanie White. Now, the Indiana Fever is currently playing a game, but I couldn't stomach watching it any longer. So I'll put it up here in the corner here so you guys can see it while I'm making this video. I just can't watch this game, guys. I'll be honest with you. It's the fourth quarter. It's currently how many minutes left? 7 minutes left in the fourth. Indiana Fever's clearly going to win this game.
Whether that was true or not, perception quickly became reality online. The backlash only intensified because it tapped into frustrations fans already had with the organization. Since Caitlin Clark entered the league, every injury report, every day-to-day label, and every vague comment from coaches has been dissected with extreme intensity, almost like people are decoding ancient text. Now, when fans hear something like minor soreness, it no longer lands as routine or understandable. Instead, many immediately jump to suspicion, reading between the lines and building theories almost instantly. One fan even joked that the loudest noise in the entire arena was probably the echo coming from the concession area. And truthfully, the frustration was not just about Caitlin Clark missing the game. What really upset many people was the feeling that the Indiana Fever waited far too long to make the announcement. That is what really intensified the backlash. Fans began accusing the organization of holding back the news on purpose so ticket sales would not completely crash before the game even started. Athletes deal with soreness all the time, especially during packed, physically demanding schedules. But what made this situation even more confusing was how the explanation seemed to shift. At one point, Caitlin Clark was described as fine or healthy, and at another, the concern was framed as serious enough that it wasn't worth taking any risks. That kind of inconsistency is what triggered the immediate reaction from fans. Because in sports, people can usually accept bad news. What really frustrates them is unclear or conflicting messaging.
Let's talk about some Caitlin Clark. Colin Coward went on his show today and had some things to say about, what she's doing in her career so far. I'll let you guys take a listen.
The league, rookie sensation, year 2, last year she's hurt. Year 3, okay, her stats are great again. When is she going to start winning at the next level? She has not won a playoff series yet. And so my take is she has her Pippin. Kelsey Mitchell was a player that got some MVP votes. And this is not like hating on.
The second explanation stopped sounding clear, and the internet quickly turned into a courtroom drama filled with thousands of unpaid attorneys armed with Wi-Fi connections. Some fans even began speculating that Caitlin Clark's absence might be tied to earlier tensions around coaching decisions and visible frustration in recent games. There was no real evidence behind those claims, but that didn't stop social media from racing straight into conspiracy territory at full speed. And once that kind of narrative takes hold online, it rarely slows down. It usually packs up and moves on to the next controversy. The timing only made things worse, because the WNBA is currently under more attention than it has ever experienced before, and a large portion of that spotlight centers on Caitlin Clark herself. Whether people love her, criticize her, defend her, or overanalyze every expression she makes during timeouts, she has become the league's main attraction. So when a nationally anticipated game suddenly changes without much notice, it naturally raises the question fans keep circling back to: what exactly are they paying for when the main draw can disappear at the last minute? The Caitlin Clark phenomenon has fundamentally changed the pressure around the WNBA. What used to be a routine injury absence now turns into a national debate involving attendance, media scrutiny, fan outrage, and constant online theories. That's the new reality, and it shows how much expectations, visibility, and pressure have all intensified at once.